folks, Big Time Jimmy Larson here for another installment of At the Movies. Today we are going to be looking at the 1985 classic, The Heavenly Kid. Heavenly Kid has always been one of my favorite movies, and it still is today, and we are about to tell you why. We open the movie with a shot from the 1960s in a flashback scene where we meet our main character Bobby about to have a chicken race with his rival Joe, as seen here. And Joe, many of you probably know as Maestro. They are going to be racing over the honor of Bobby's girlfriend Emily, seen here, or as many of you will know her as Malcolm's mother. So the race is on, and the race scene, let's just be honest, it borrows heavily from the 1955 James Dean classic, Rebel Without a Cause. As you can see here in these side-by-side clips, we've pretty much got the exact same race going on as we see in the one. The character gets his loop of his jacket stuck in the door handle and cannot get out of the car. And in our film today, we see that Bobby gets the loop of his bracelet stuck on the steering wheel and he can't get out of the car. So it's pretty much the exact same thing and the same exact outcome. And they both go over the cliff. And it is not a pretty sight for either one of these characters. And even also, James Dean wears a red jacket similar to what Joe is wearing here. So they go over the cliff and Bobby falls fatally as the cars blow up and he's left, well, look at that. I mean, he wasn't going to make it. And then the scene fades out with Emily now crying in Joe's arms. And it is definitely a very sad sight to see for the start of this movie. Yeah, so all of this happens despite Bobby delivering his motivational catchphrase seen here.
I got a cup.
And by the way, let me just take the time to mention the amazing soundtrack this movie has. And unfortunately, I can't let you hear any of it because it's not allowed on this channel. So anyway, Bobby dies and he ends up on a train for a very long time as seen here. Because see, in this world, when you die, you end up going to heaven, which they, in this movie, the movie lingo for it is called Uptown, which sounds like a very good place, though, however, because we learn also that Elvis Presley is up there. We're told that in the movie. But see, Bobby, he can't get up there. They won't let him get up there, and then soon he meets his spiritual advisor, Rafferty, as seen here.
This midtown traffic's getting impossible. Gotta get the big chief to put a cycle lane in here.
Lane? You need a highway, fella. Who taught you how to ride this thing? You almost killed me.
And Rafferty basically tells him that he's not earned his right. He basically didn't earn enough credits to graduate to go to Uptown, so he has to earn them by becoming a guardian angel. So after learning that he's going to be a guardian angel, Bobby learns that there's no assignment ready for him, so he has to ride the subway for over 20 years until one becomes available. And finally, Rafferty comes and gets him, and he takes him back to the present day, which is the 1980s. And we meet a nerdy boy, Lenny, who we see lose his job because he is bullied by some bullies at the restaurant he's in, and they cause him to lose his job. And then Bobby learns that Lenny is going to be his assignment. That's who he has to be the guardian angel to. And Lenny is devastated about losing his job, but his friend Melissa, seen here, she tries to cheer him up, seen here. So Bobby is told, though, that the rule is that the only person he's allowed to let see him is his assignment, Lenny. Everybody else will not see him unless if he lets them. But again, the rule is only your assignment. So only Lenny is allowed to see Bobby. Bobby can get in some pretty big trouble if he decides to let anybody else see him, which leads to some hilarious stuff throughout the movie. As you can see here, as they're riding down the street on a bicycle. Bobby's the one riding the bicycle, but it looks like nobody is riding the bicycle, and it looks like Lenny has some kind of magical bicycle that runs on its own. And this is a run-on gag throughout the movie with some other stuff, like later on with a car, and we see that Lenny's in the car and nobody's driving the car. So it's definitely a great joke that runs on throughout the movie. So after saving Lenny's life, as you can see here, Bobby thinks that he's done enough to earn his ticket to Uptown, but soon he learns that that's not enough. They want him to become friends with Lenny as well. So Bobby, he takes this under his wing. He goes up to Lenny and kind of tells him, you know, I can change you and make things better for you. So he basically transforms Lenny from this to this. And so Lenny now has all the cool clothes and he's looking hip, he's looking cool, but it's just not enough. He needs a cool car to go with it, something like this. Ugh. That just won't do. No, 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 no. Bobby, why don't you why don't you use your angel powers? Can you got anything for me? Show me. There we go. So Bobby, he uses his angel powers to use telekinesis basically, and he is going to clean all the dust off that car, and he's going to put some brand new tires on it and even some fuzzy dice on it, and he's going to give it a new paint job and take all the dents out of it, and he's going to make that car look like a beauty. And it basically ends up looking like this. There you go. That's a car that you can be proud of. And so they take the car out. Now they have the cool clothes and the cool car to boot. But having cool clothes and a cool car just isn't enough. So Bobby now has to teach Lenny how to be cool. But it just isn't going so well. As you can see here, basically he's not doing a good job whatsoever. And he's trying but not having any luck with anything. He can't even pull the cigarette out of the box. But one thing is for sure, as you can see here, his caveman skills are going pretty well because, well, he's able to make fire. So, but anyway, so throughout this movie, some really cool things happen, but also it's a historic movie as it's the first movie to ever have two guys sitting around just sharing a joint together. But I can't show you clips of that, but I can tell you about it. Basically, Lenny and Bobby have this joint that Bobby got, and he doesn't understand what it is, and he says, this cigarette tastes funny, and Lenny goes, oh no, that's grass. And Bobby's like, oh God, you mean I'm smoking someone's lawn? And Lenny goes, no, it's okay. And then Bobby uses his angel powers to make both him and Lenny float up to the ceiling, and he goes, what's going on here? What's going on? And Lenny goes, I think it's called getting high. So yeah, there's a lot of great subtle humor in there for you to enjoy. So Bobby learns that Lenny is actually Emily's son, and then he even learns that Emily is actually now married to Joe, which just tears him apart. And this is when the movie really starts to get good, because Bobby's emotional side starts to come out, and you can just really feel for him, and you can even see the pain in his eyes, like here, and it just really comes across on screen really well. You start to feel for this character and see a whole new emotional side that you didn't see throughout the first half of the film. And then Emily, she starts to notice the changes in her son Lenny. She starts seeing that he's, of course, got different clothes, and he's got this new car, and he's telling them about it, and then he slips out, oh, I got it from my new friend Bobby. And then she's like, oh, your new friend Bobby, it's already like kind of going in there, you know, he's dressing like Bobby, he's acting like her Bobby that she knows. And then it gets even weirder when Lenny uses Bobby's catchphrase to her, as you can see here.
Don't worry about it, Mom, really. I got it covered. What? I got it covered.
And so, yeah, now it just starts getting like, wow, what's going on here? And throughout the film, we really see that Lenny's best friend Melissa, who we talked about earlier, she really has some feelings for Lenny, but Lenny's just either oblivious to him or just doesn't care because he's too obsessed with his bully's girlfriend, Sharon, but more on that later. So Bobby eventually, the emotions are getting to him, and he returns to the site of his death, as you can see here. And it's getting to him so bad that he requests to Rafferty, hey, can I get a new assignment? He doesn't want anything to do with Lenny anymore, but he eventually has a change of heart, and he decides to continue being the guardian angel for Lenny, and he even assists him in a fight with some of his bullies, as you can see here.
Dead meat barns.
And now you know where this came from.
Janela rolls through, kips up. A reversal.
Yep, they stole the idea. So Lenny's confidence now that he's beat up the bullies and everything, it's really going off the moon now. He's got so much confidence. However, with that confidence, he's also becoming a real jerk, and he's even dating the stuck-up snob Sharon that he's had a crush on. Why on earth would he want to date her? Okay, I kind of can't blame him on that. But so he now is just acting like this all the time, and it's really, really becoming a problem for everybody. And even Bobby's starting to get a little annoyed with it, but Bobby finally says, you know what, let's just take you out to celebrate, and Bobby gets Lenny drunk, and it leads to some hilarious stuff seen here. So all of this now adds even more confidence to Lenny, and with all this new confidence, it makes his attitude change and turns him into an even bigger jerk, as now his attitude is just unbearable. He even starts mouthing off to Bobby, and even Bobby can't handle him. Bobby doesn't even understand what is happening to Lenny. It just doesn't make any sense. But then Lenny does kind of have a little bit of a change of heart as he goes to a party with Sharon, and he sees that Melissa has now started crying her eyes out with jealousy over Sharon, and it makes him feel really bad. And then he goes to confront Sharon, and he actually catches Sharon flirting with other guys even, and really starts to rethink things. Where Bobby, on the other hand, he's totally starting to mature and really starting to realize how much he's ruined his life with everything that he did in his life, and he decides he's going to just break the rules. And he completely goes up and tells Emily who he is and lets her see him, and oh no, you can't do that, but he did it anyway. And then he takes Emily for a night on the town and has a romantic evening with her, as you can see here in these images. And they just go to all these different places from their past. And then eventually Emily throws the real kicker at him, that she was actually pregnant when Bobby died, and that Lenny is actually Bobby's son, and Bobby is a father, and Joe is the stepfather to Lenny. And this scene is really good, but it's also a really good tearjerker. As Bobby is seen back in Midtown awaiting the consequences of breaking the rules and letting Emily see him, we learn that Lenny now gets stopped by his bully Gallo, who wants revenge from the fight because now nobody takes him seriously. So he challenges Lenny to a gut race of his own, and Lenny accepts it. And then back in Midtown, Bobby happens to find out that, oh my God, there's a problem now, because look at who's on the list to come uptown that day, and he sees Lenny's name when he finds out from Rafferty that, yeah, Lenny is scheduled to die now in this gut race, and he's going to go uptown. And Bobby basically completely blames himself, saying that he never would have been in this mess had he not gotten him into this, and he needs to be able to save him. And he tells Rafferty, I don't care what I gotta do, I'll do anything. And ultimately, he even agrees that he would sacrifice his own soul if that's what it took to save Lenny. And then we cut to the big race, and everybody is looking worried about Lenny when they see this race start, as you can see in these images here. I mean, just look at the worried faces, and worried they should be, as Bobby appears in the car with Lenny just in time for this to happen. No, it's not. It doesn't really end that way. But everybody now is like really scared now, as they've just seen Lenny go over the cliff down. They're really scared for his safety, as you can see in these images right here. I mean, just look at how scared they look. And then, of course, when they see the aftermath, when they look down into the cavern and they see this, I mean, they're even more scared, because there's just no way that he could survive. And then somebody actually has the nerve to yell out, "Somebody try and help him," as if, yeah, what are they going to do? Climb down the cliff and go into the fiery pit and try to pull him out to safety? What are they going to do? But of course, Lenny doesn't die, and Bobby saves his life. And then Bobby ends up with Melissa now. And then him and Lenny and Bobby, they say goodbye to each other. And Bobby awaits his fate now that he's given away his soul to come and save Lenny. But he learns from Rafferty that the self-sacrifice that he did is all that he really needed to learn in the first place, and he's now earned his ticket to go uptown. And then Lenny watches as Bobby rides on Rafferty's motorcycle into the sky, and they fade into the clouds, into heaven, as seen here. And then Bobby, as the movie ends, we see Bobby going up that escalator that never seems to end, all the way up to heaven as the credits roll. So there you have it. There's my review for The Heavenly Kid, and it's a really good one. I mean, this one, yeah, it's a little bit corny at times, but it's got a lot of heart, and it's got a really great story, and I highly recommend it. It's always been a favorite of mine and of my family's as well, and I know that you will enjoy it. It is rated PG-13. There's a quick spot of male nudity and some sexual situations and some mild language. But other than that, it's good for the family to watch and enjoy. And yeah, I hope that it becomes a favorite of all of yours as well. And we'll see how that rolls. But for now, this is At the Movies. I'm Big Time Jimmy Larson, and I will see you next week with a brand new review. So stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching.